All right, so today we're going to deep dive into takedowns and throws, right?
Okay.
And specifically, we're looking at this piece from the Tai Chi Notebook.
Huh, interesting.
And it's kind of cool because they actually tie it back to Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Okay.
So they're looking at like finding a more accessible way to think about grappling, even if you're not,
Right.
a hardcore wrestler.
Exactly, because not all of us are going to be like, super hardcore wrestlers, right?
Yeah.
But we can still benefit from some of those ideas.
Totally.
And this article does a really cool job, I think, of kind of breaking down takedowns and throws into what they call like a 5-point model.
Okay, break it down for me. What's the 5-point model?
Right. So they basically say that like you can control a body if you can control one or more of these 5 points.
Okay.
So it's the back of the head,
Okay.
the armpits, and they kind of extend that down to the hips.
Okay.
And then the back of the knees, and they extend that down to the ankles.
So instead of like trying to think about a million different ways to take someone down, I just need to focus on those 5 things.
Yeah. I mean, it's not quite that simple.
Okay.
But it's a really good start, and it gives you a good, like, framework to think about it.
Okay.
Because those 5 points, what they all have in common is they're all about leverage and, like, disrupting your balance.
Okay.
So if you can control even one of those points on your opponent,
yeah,
you immediately put them in a position of weakness.
So it's less about being super strong and more about strategy.
Exactly.
Okay.
It's like having a secret map to, like, their vulnerabilities.
Gotcha.
And the best part is you don't even have to be like a wrestling prodigy to figure this out.
So how does knowing about these 5 points actually, change the way I approach grappling?
Oh, man, it's a game changer.
Okay.
Because instead of being overwhelmed by, like, all these different moves,
right,
you start to see the underlying principles.
Gotcha.
Right? You're not reacting to just, like, whatever limbs they're throwing at you. You're thinking, okay, how are they trying to access those 5 points?
Interesting.
Or how can I access their 5 points?
Okay.
So it gives you a lot more, like...
So even something like a foot stomp, right?
Yeah.
Which I think of as like a standing technique still ties back into this.
100%. Because think about it. Like, to do an effective foot stomp, you got to get them off balance first.
Right.
And how do you get them off balance? Well, by controlling one of those points, even just a little bit.
Interesting.
Same thing with like a wrist lock.
Okay.
It's not JST about the wrist. It's about using that wrist control to manipulate their entire body position.
So it's like all these different moves across all these different styles.
Yeah.
They have this
they're all connected.
They have this connection.
Totally.
That's cool.
And that's the power of like a good framework, right?
Yeah.
It helps you see those connections, like you said, you might not otherwise see.
Cool. So we're back and we're talking about this 5-point system for grappling.
Yeah, it's like they're giving us the cheat code.
Right.
To like grappling mastery.
Yeah. And it's so cool.
Like instead of getting, those pixelated mushrooms,
yeah,
you're getting like a whole new understanding of leverage and balance and how it all works.
But it's like one of those things where it's like once you see it, you start to see it like everywhere.
Yeah.
It's like this weird aha moment.
Absolutely.
That goes way beyond just like martial arts.
Well, yeah, for sure.
Like I can even see this applying to something like, I don't know, like a business negotiation.
Totally. Like think about it, right?
Okay.
What are the control points in a negotiation?
I don't know, the fancy pens.
Well, that'd be cool.
Okay.
But think bigger, like control over information, maybe.
Oh.
Or like influencing the timeline of the deal.
So still all about leverage.
Exactly.
Interesting.
Right. Even just like the art of persuasion itself. It's about understanding like how to subtly kind of shift someone's balance towards your point of view.
So by figuring out like what those key points are, you can almost like steer the negotiation.
100%. 100%.
That's wild. And it's not even like in a manipulative way. It's just like you're understanding how it works.
You're playing the game.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's not just negotiations. Think about something like building relationships.
I mean, that's like the opposite of a negotiation.
Right. It's like the opposite of a fight.
Oh,
but it's still about understanding those key points, right?
Okay. Where are the 5 points in a relationship?
Well, so instead of like physical points on the body, it's more like what are the essential elements that make for like a really strong connection?
Gotcha.
Right. So things like communication, trust, shared values, things like that.
So like if you understand those things and you make those like a priority,
exactly,
then the relationship is going to be better.
like you're reinforcing the foundation. Right.
Wow. So this is like way more than just grappling at this point.
I know.
It's like a whole...
It's life lessons.
Yeah, it's like life lessons in disguise.
Oh, there you go.
But I don't want to get too philosophical.
Let's bring it back down.
Let's bring it back down.
Back to the mat.
So how does this actually play out? Like, give me an example.
Okay.
All right. So let's actually see this 5-point thing in action.
Yeah. Let's make it real.
Because I'm starting to feel like, like we're talking about like, you know, it's a secret map, but like, how do I actually use the map?
Okay. So imagine you're in a grappling match.
Right.
Okay. And your opponent shoots in for like a double leg takedown.
Okay.
Super common attack, right?
Yeah. It's double leg.
So they're going for your legs. Now, if you understand the 5-point model, you immediately know, okay, they're trying to control the back of my knees.
So it's like I can anticipate their move.
If you're already ahead of the game.
Right.
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 So instead of just reacting to them grabbing your legs, you can, for example, like sprawl your legs out really wide.
Okay.
So they can't get that control. Or maybe you even drop to your knees strategically to like kill their leverage.
So they're expecting me to be on my feet and I just change it up.
Right. Then they're like, wait, what?
Yeah.
That's not how this is supposed to go. And it all comes back to
that's cool.
Understanding those control points, right?
It's not about being like super strong. It's about
strategy.
Outsmarting them.
Having that awareness.
Okay, what about something like a headlock?
Oh.
That seems pretty basic, but now I'm thinking
100%. Because a headlock, what is it really?
Yeah.
It's about controlling the back of your head.
Okay.
Right. So if someone puts you in a headlock and you understand the system, you're not just going to try to like muscle your way out, are you?
No, I guess not.
You're going to use strategy. Maybe you like drop your weight really suddenly. That's harder for them to hold on. Or maybe you use their grip to create a little bit of space and slip out.
Oh, that's cool.
It's all about using leverage and angles to your advantage.
I like it.
Right. And that's what the 5-point model helps you to do.
Yeah, this has been really cool.
It's a different way of thinking about it.
Yeah, so like for someone listening out there who's maybe like just getting into grappling,
right?
What's like the one big thing?
I think the biggest thing is, even though it can seem really complicated, there's a structure there.
Okay.
There's a strategy. It's not just random chaos.
Yeah.
And this 5-point model gives you a way to see that structure.
That's awesome.
Right.
Well, this has been great. I feel like I've learned a lot.
Me too. Always fun to dive into this stuff.
Yeah, it's more than just like...
It's more than just the moves.
The actual moves, right? It's like...
It's the principles.
It's like the philosophy.
There you go.
All right, well, until next time, thanks for listening.
See you next time.